Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is Bootney Farnsworth, and today's commentary we're going to talk about the potential matchup between UFC superstar Conor McGregor and undefeated boxing legend Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
That fight ain't never gonna happen.
Nah, I don't think it's going to happen either. But let's talk about it anyway. But we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to take it from three different scenarios. Scenario number one, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather inside the octagon at UFC fill in the blank. Scenario number two, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather meet on the streets. And scenario number three, which is got the sports world in a buzz, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. Now, when you're talking about a potential Mayweather-McGregor matchup, opinions tend to go in two groups. They're the opinions of people who really don't follow combat sports and don't really understand the difference between MMA and boxing. And these are the same opinions that thought that when they watch the old kung fu movies, when they watch people like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, they assumed that if they ever went to the UFC that they would dominate the UFC. They also shared the opinion that if WWE wrestlers entered the UFC that they would dominate.
Well, there was Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but he was the exception. Brock Lesnar had legit wrestling credentials, so he don't count. But I'm just talking about your typical WWE wrestler, sports entertainer. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Now, the number of people that share this type of opinion are slowly dwindling as the UFC is blowing up. And then the other type of opinions are people who have fought MMA, people who are familiar with combat sports, whether they covered it or they competed in it. And this is the group that I identify myself with. And I think we're all pretty much on the same page. So let's look at scenario number one. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather inside the octagon. The fight would probably last less than a minute. Mayweather would lose horribly, just like James Toney did back in UFC 118. And if you don't know, James Toney was a boxing champ and he competed in the UFC against Randy Couture. And I think the fight lasted maybe 2 minutes. The bell rang. They circled each other for a little while. Couture took Toney down and that was the end of the fight. Boxing is too limited. So if that is your only weapon when you enter the octagon, you've already lost. So in my opinion, Mayweather would have absolutely zero chance if he ever entered the octagon against Conor McGregor. Unless he trained MMA, and I'm not talking about a couple of months, I mean years. He would need years of training, so it's pretty much pointless. Alright, now let's look at the scenario number two, which is the best scenario. You're going to have to use a little bit of your imagination for this. Let's say Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather gets invited to the presidential inauguration event. In one end of the room, you got Conor McGregor. He's got to take a piss. And a minute before that, Floyd Mayweather was on the other end of the room, and a girl accidentally spilled the drink on his shirt, so he has to go to the restroom to clean up. So Mayweather goes to the restroom, McGregor follows shortly after, and accidentally bumps Mayweather. Mayweather say, "Hey, what's up, man? I think you owe me an apology." McGregor looks at him and says,
"I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants."
And the fight is on. Now, unless Mayweather got the drop on McGregor and landed that first KO punch, more than likely, McGregor has far too many weapons and he would dominate and destroy Floyd Mayweather in the restroom during the presidential inauguration of Donald J. Trump.
Be huge.
Alright, let's look at scenario number three. And this is the scenario that everyone is talking about. Lately, Conor McGregor has been calling out Floyd Mayweather. I will give Conor McGregor this. He is a marketing genius. I mean, McGregor's got people interested in this fight that originally was like, this will never happen. But he's keeping it relevant. He's staying relevant. He's training with professional boxers, trash talking Mayweather back and forth. It's entertaining and people are starting to get real interested in this. But like I said, this fight will never happen. Mark my words, this fight will never happen. And I don't care how good McGregor thinks his boxing is, Floyd Mayweather is on a whole nother level. He is arguably the greatest boxer ever. Well, I don't agree with that opinion, but a lot of people do. Now, this wasn't the first time that a UFC star and a boxing star was gonna fight in a boxing match. Like years ago, Anderson Silva and Roy Jones Jr. were supposed to do a boxing match, but that never materialized. But this fight, this Mayweather and McGregor fight, is a lot bigger, and McGregor's making it a lot bigger. But I think McGregor knows deep down that he cannot beat Floyd Mayweather. And I know Floyd knows deep down that this fight will never happen. If it did, McGregor would get the shit beat out of him. Mark my words. One thing is for sure, if this fight ever took place, McGregor would get paid like he's never got paid before. And he knows that. He wants that cash. Well, I'm going to end this commentary, but like I said, outside of a boxing ring, Floyd's biggest chance on defeating McGregor would be in a street fight due to the unpredictable nature of a street fight. I hope you like the commentary, like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And I'm out. This is Bootney Farnsworth, the commentator, formerly known as the only pugilistic COD commentator in the business.